colleagues would mean managing their emotions, assuring them that I was perfectly fine, commiserating about the lack of civility today and sympathizing with their sadness and frustration about an event I'd already moved past. What I wanted most was to get back to being about my business, and having a conversation with my coworkers about this would just mean spending more time and energy on an anonymous racist who did not deserve my attention. I had better things to do. Eventually, though, I did briefly discuss the situation with a few colleagues. When I sent the messages to campus safety, they contacted our head of IT, who reached out to me to offer his apologies and let me know they had a record of what had happened. He also told my department chair, who notified the dean, to ensure this was on her radar as well. But I didn't really expect anything to happen, and they all confirmed that there wasn't much anyone could do to track down the offender. We didn't discuss whether receiving racist hate email compromised my ability to do my job, or whether the university had any resources available to assist faculty affected by incidents like these. Despite my initial reluctance to share, many years later, when I knew my colleagues better, I showed a white male coworker one of the crasser messages I'd received. This colleague also writes about racial matters, occasionally for public outlets, and sometimes gets unsolicited responses from strangers telling him why, in their view, he's got it all wrong. He was shocked and surprised at the contents of the message I shared with him, which opened with the subject line, "You're a massive hypocrite, and that's why white people hate you." In the body of the email, the sender advised that I try teaching these gimme niggers in your class responsibility and accountability. Questioned, where the fuck are all of their fathers? And concluded with the opinion that Black culture is fucking pathetic. After seeing this, my colleague told me that the most offensive emails he'd gotten were from strangers calling him stupid. "Yours are on a whole other level," he said. Indeed. Luckily, these messages never escalated to the point of outright threats. I never felt in any physical danger, and the senders did not follow up. I presume they stewed in their own fury for a while, and then eventually directed their energy elsewhere. Maybe toward finding the next Unite the Right rally or brushing up on great replacement theories. But my experience is illustrative of a couple of things. One is that for many Black workers today, racism is not a relic of the past. It is not tangential. It is a core part of the Black experience, front and center in ways that elude even the most well-meaning white coworkers. Even sitting at home, minding my own business, on the faculty of a university that explicitly states its commitment to justice and racial equity, racism still became part of my work life when it popped up in my inbox in response to my doing my job. My qualifications, experience, and skill set don't matter to these anonymous senders. What bothers them is a Black woman professor who studies racial and gender inequality in the workplace. It feels like an affront to them. The second point is that because racial issues are also entrenched, dealing with them is difficult. It requires copious amounts of time, energy, and effort. But much of that labor falls solely on Black employees in ways that are overlooked and ignored because most companies aren't fully prepared to address these dynamics. Instead, Black workers figure out on their own how to manage everything, from overt harassment to cumulative microaggressions. Even in my own case, it might seem surprising that I had such a dispassionate response to getting racist hate mail and that my primary reaction was to dismiss it. This isn't because my meditation game is just that strong. It's definitely not because I tend to be a calm person by nature. It's because